we have got major stories that every United fan needs to know about. Manchester United's Premier League season is almost over, with one final trip to Brighton still to come after that dramatic 3-2 victory over Nottingham Forest at Old Trafford. Michael Carrick's side are now unbeaten in 8 league matches, and there is a growing feeling around the club that momentum is finally returning at exactly the right time. And while the result against Forest was important, the afternoon also belonged to Bruno Fernandes. The United captain officially equalled the all-time Premier League single-season assist record after setting up Bryan Mbeumo during the second half. Fernandes now sits level with Thierry Henry and Kevin De Bruyne on 20 assists in a single Premier League campaign, which is another incredible achievement for the Portuguese playmaker. What makes it even more impressive is that Fernandes could easily have had even more assists this season. Against Nottingham Forest alone, he created chance after chance and once again looked like the heartbeat of the entire Manchester United attack. Now though, attention is rapidly turning towards the summer transfer window. The midfield rebuild is becoming the #1 priority inside Old Trafford. The summer planning is accelerating daily, and every story breaking this week matters for what United look like when they step into the Champions League group stage in September. Matías Fernandes. Team Talk report United are now frontrunners for the West Ham midfielder, further talks held according to the Daily Mail. The Portuguese 21-year-old is described as extremely keen on a switch to Old Trafford. West Ham's asking price has dropped from 84 million to 70 million as their relegation position has weakened their negotiating hand. If West Ham go down, that figure drops further still. Here is why this deal makes sense for United beyond the obvious quality argument. Bruno Fernandes personally recommended him. Jason Wilcox specifically admires him from his Southampton days. The player wants to come. The price is falling. Arsenal and PSG are also in the picture, which creates urgency, but the specific combination of United's Champions League offer, Bruno's endorsement and Wilcox's personal conviction gives the club genuine advantages over the other pursuers. His omission from Portugal's World Cup squad removes any international tournament complication from the timing of a summer deal, making the transfer window negotiation cleaner and quicker than it would have been otherwise. This is not the primary midfield signing. Fernandes is not Ederson or Anderson or Tonali in terms of the profile United are targeting for the double pivot. He is the third midfielder, the box-to-box option at £20 million of the £140 million budget allocation. The one who adds quality and athleticism and Premier League proven capability to a midfield group that needs genuine depth for a Champions League campaign. However, another major name is now emerging strongly. Jarrod Bowen is being monitored. The Guardian reports United are among 3 clubs interested alongside Chelsea and Liverpool. West Ham's relegation creates a fire sale environment where Bowen's current wage demands and transfer fee expectations could be significantly more affordable than they would be for a Premier League club with leverage. Direct, pacey, productive wide forward, who has been one of the best right-sided attacking options in the division for several seasons. Not the marquee left-winger that Leao represents, but a reliable and proven Premier League quality alternative at a fraction of the price. The West Ham connection to United's summer is becoming significant across multiple positions. Fernandes for midfield, Bowen potentially for attack. Maxi Araujo has already been linked as a left-back target, and there are additional West Ham assets that may become available if relegations forces the kind of squad clear-out that Championship football demands financially. United are watching closely and positioning themselves to capitalise. Then there is Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford's Barcelona situation is approaching its most creative and most desperate solution yet. Mundo Deportivo report that Barca are exploring a structure that would see them pay the £26 million option across 3 annual instalments of approximately £10 million per year. That is an extraordinary ask of Manchester United, effectively converting a permanent sale into something that looks and functions like an extended loan with deferred payment. United have been consistent throughout this saga. Full fee, no negotiations, no second loans, no instalment structures, the full £26 million or Rashford returns for pre-season. Whether the instalment proposal represents a genuine opening from Barcelona or a final attempt to wear United down before the window opens is the question that determines how this resolves. Rashford himself has committed to a 5-year contract and agreed a 40% wage reduction to make the numbers work. He wants this. He has done everything in his power to make it financially viable. But United's commercial position, their PSR requirements, and their precedent-setting concerns about what accepting installments means for future negotiations all work against any structural creativity that reduces the guaranteed upfront receipt below the agreed option price. Elsewhere, uncertainty continues surrounding Andre Onana. Onana intends to return to Carrington when his Trabzonspor loan ends. BeBay Sport report the Cameroonian goalkeeper plans to report for pre-season even though United remain open to a permanent sale. His future is genuinely uncertain. United might want to sell, Onana might want to stay. The club might need to find a solution that works for both parties before pre-season begins in earnest. The Senna Lamens situation makes Onana's position clear on the depth chart. He is not starting. He is not the number one. Whatever happens to him this summer, the outcome is departure rather than competition for a place that Lamens has already made his own. Diogo Dalot's contract situation is one that United need to address promptly given his 2 years remaining and his consistent and reliable performance as first-choice right-back throughout the Carrick era. Team Talk report the club are considering offering him an improved long-term deal with no formal negotiations yet underway, but the consideration itself confirming that United value him as part of the long-term project. Dalot at 26 is at the peak of his professional career. Champions League football next season makes keeping him straightforward if the financial terms are right. Losing him for nothing in 2 years because the extension conversation was delayed too long would be exactly the kind of avoidable administrative failure that well-run clubs do not allow to happen. The £104 million figure being discussed as potential summer funds from player sales is the clearest single indication yet of the financial scale United are operating at this summer. Højlund, £38 million from Napoli. Rashford, £26 million if Barcelona pay. Xerxes potentially £30 million from Juventus. Ugarte at whatever the market returns. Potentially more from other departures as Carrick and Wilcox assess which players fit the next phase of the project and which represent assets that can be converted into the quality the Champions League demands. £104 million in receipts. £140 million already identified for midfield alone. Champions League broadcast money. Adidas bonus already triggered. Commercial growth of a club on the trajectory Arsenal described this week as potentially overtaking Liverpool and City in revenue. The financial picture for this summer is genuinely extraordinary by any recent United standard. Brighton on Saturday, the final league game. A free hit with third place already confirmed. A chance to break Fernandes' assist record beyond 20 with one more creative contribution. A chance for the squad to end the season exactly as it has developed, playing with confidence and quality and the specific identity that Carrick has instilled since January. Then the planning fully takes over. Then Carrick's first full pre-season begins. Then the Champions League group stage draw. Then the signings arrive one by one, and the squad that returns to European football in September starts to take its final shape. United are back. The direction is clear. The manager is permanent. The targets are identified. The budget is there. The most exciting chapter of the Ineos era is about to begin. Elsewhere, reports from Italy claim Newcastle may be forced into a painful decision after failing to secure Champions League football, with financial fair play concerns potentially forcing them to sacrifice one of their biggest stars. Sandro Tonali. Newcastle have put him up for sale. The Italian outlet Corriere della Sera reports he will be sacrificed this summer as Newcastle balance their books without Champions League football. €100 million is the asking price, a number that rules out Italian clubs but that Manchester City and Manchester United are described as the most likely destinations. Two clubs, one player, both needing midfield transformation, both with the budget to make it happen. Anthony Gordon is already heading to Bayern Munich, having agreed personal terms. Newcastle losing both Gordon and Tonali in the same window would be a dramatic squad deterioration, but their financial situation after missing Champions League qualification has forced exactly these kinds of difficult decisions. Tonali at 25 is one of the most technically accomplished midfielders in the Premier League. His combination of defensive intelligence, pressing intensity, and technical quality in tight spaces making him the specific profile both City and United are chasing. The difference is United need him more urgently given Casemiro's departure leaves a specific void that Tonali would fill more naturally than almost any other available player. At the same time, United continue pushing hard for Nottingham Forest midfielder Elliot Anderson. The Nottingham Forest boss, Vitor Pereira, said everything can happen when asked directly if Anderson would be sold this summer. He praised the player's talent extensively, acknowledged the market is the market, said the club wants to keep him but pointedly did not say he would be staying. That specific combination of public praise and private inevitability is the language of a manager preparing his fan base for a departure he cannot prevent. United are set to make a formal approach to Forest. So are City. The bidding war that both clubs wanted to avoid is happening regardless of their preferences. Forest staying in the Premier League without Champions League football sits them in the negotiating middle ground, not desperate sellers, not holding maximum leverage. Somewhere around £100 million is the expected number. The most important midfield transfer of the summer is coming. United and City will both go to the City ground. Whoever offers most and makes the most compelling project argument gets the player. Elsewhere, Marcus Rashford's future remains one of the biggest stories of the summer. Marcus Rashford is now prepared to sign a 5-year contract at Barcelona rather than the 3-year deal that had been agreed in principle. The extraordinary detail from Mundo Deportivo is that he was already committed to a deal involving a 40% reduction on his Old Trafford wages, and he is now tearing that up and extending the proposed contract length to 5 years to make the financial package more viable for Barcelona. The player is doing everything he can to make this permanent move happen. Barcelona's financial constraints remain the obstacle, but Rashford's willingness to extend his own commitment could be the creative solution that finally allows the deal to cross the line before the summer window closes. United's position remains unchanged. Full price, no more loans, no negotiated discount, £26 million, or the conversation does not happen. Whether Rashford's 5-year offer changes the Barcelona board's calculation about the total cost of the deal is the question that will determine this saga's resolution. And finally, United have officially confirmed Tyrell Malacia will leave the club at the end of the season when his contract expires. Tyrell Malacia departure confirmed officially. Club statement released. 49 appearances in 4 years. A career at United defined more by injury absence than by playing time. The left-back who joined from Feyenoord in July 2022 as one of Erik ten Hag's first signings leaves, having never established himself as a reliable first-team option. His wages are saved, his squad number is freed, and the left-back position that was already being addressed in the transfer market has now had its vacancy formally confirmed. Tom Heaton signing a 1-year extension is one of the most quietly important pieces of squad management confirmed this week. 40 years old, not played competitively since February 2023, still setting high standards in training, still valued in the dressing room as a leader, and specifically identified as having taken Senna Lammens under his wing this season, mentoring the 23-year-old through his first Premier League campaign in a way that has contributed directly to the Belgians' transformation from struggling starter to one of the most improved goalkeepers in the division. Keeping Heaton for another year keeps that mentoring relationship intact for another crucial year of Lammens' development. Rio Ferdinand said Lammens could be United's goalkeeper for the next 10 years. Tom Heaton's presence gives him the experienced guidance to make sure that potential is realised rather than squandered by a premature ending to the relationship that has produced such impressive results. The summer picture is now becoming the clearest and the most coherent it has been at any point in the planning process. Carrick confirmed as permanent manager. Bruno Fernandes record-breaking and staying. Mainoo signed to 2031. Casemiro and Malacia departing. Ugarte being sold. Højlund 38 million incoming from Napoli. Rashford permanent sale being pursued. Ederson personal terms agreed. Tonali and Anderson both viable at the right price. One final Premier League game remains. Brighton away on the final day. A free hit with Champions League already confirmed. A chance for Fernandes to push his assist record beyond 20. A chance for Sesko to add to his goal tally. A chance for the squad to end the season with the momentum and the confidence that pre-season and a Champions League opening campaign demands. So United fans, huge questions now heading into the summer. Should Manchester United spend big on Sandro Tonali? Would Elliot Anderson be the smarter signing? And do you believe Michael Carrick is the right man to lead the next era at Old Trafford? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to United Focus for all the latest Manchester United transfer news, breaking stories and daily updates throughout this massive summer window. Moving on. The Ederson update continues to move positively. Reports in Italy confirm that negotiations between Atalanta and Atletico Madrid have stalled, with the Spanish club unable or unwilling to meet the asking price. United are now said to be in negotiations with Atalanta directly over a deal structure of €45 million fixed fee plus 15 million in add-ons. That 60 million total package is at the top end of the range that had been discussed, but the add-on structure reduces the guaranteed outlay to a number United can comfortably absorb within the midfield budget. Personal terms previously agreed. Entourage has given the green light. England described as Edison's dream destination. This deal wants to happen. United need to make it happen quickly before any other Premier League club recognises the opportunity that Atletico's withdrawal has created. And there is another interesting name emerging too. Morten Hjulmand of Sporting CP is an interesting addition to the midfield monitoring list, the Danish captain being tracked by United according to Court Offside with a potential fee of around £52 million. Arsenal are also mentioned as interested parties, which immediately raises the competitive dynamic. Hjulmand at 26 brings a different profile from Edison, more technically creative and more